One of the problems with going through a system's entire catalog is you gotta do all of the sports games. I know everybody groans when I hit one of these, but they were a vital part of any console's library. Yeah, for those of us digging through old video games, the sports titles are usually the least interesting. But when the platform was new and hot, they were big drivers of sales. And in the case of Formation Soccer, I think there's a good argument to be made that it was the best soccer game available on consoles up to that point. But it's still just a soccer game. You've got your choice when you start of playing an exhibition match, or pursuing the Human Cup. Not the World Cup, the Human Cup. That mode is a long tournament where you have to beat a series of teams, while exhibition is just pick 2 teams and go. You can play up to 4 players in the exhibition match, but in the Human Cup you can only have 2 players and they have to be on the same team. There are 16 different national teams, and they all perform a little bit differently. After you choose how long you want each half to be, then you choose between one of 5 different formations that you'll use for that half, and whether or not you want to manually control the goalkeeper or have it automatically done. You can also choose how you want to hold your controller, allowing you to hold it upside down if you really want to, so that the buttons are on the left-hand side. And then you are finally ready to play. And on the field, it's soccer. If you have control of the ball, then button 1 kicks it in the direction that you're facing, while button 2 passes to the team member who has the arrow over their head. If you don't have control over the ball, then button 1 still kicks in an attempt to get it away from someone, and button 2 does a sliding dive. You might notice that you don't have any control over which player you're using. The arrow goes where it wants to, and the game picks who you're controlling on its own whims. And it's often not the player that's closest to the ball or in a position to intercept the ball. The system actually works very poorly, and a major part of that is one of the big technical achievements in Formation Soccer. It has all 22 players on the field, keeps track of all of their positions perfectly, they're all actively taking part in the game, and the size of the field is way too small for them. In the past, I've pointed out that realistically scaled soccer fields aren't actually that good for 8-bit soccer games. When you have that much space and are doing so little with it, then it makes the game kind of boring. Formation Soccer winds up with the opposite problem. The pitch is scaled where if you were playing 6-on-6 it might be appropriate, and with 22 players it is packed solid. You can't reasonably pass the ball because there's just too many players. On top of that, this is one of those sports games where the computer opponent plays perfectly, so they're always where the ball is going to wind up, and always positioned to block anything. The only reasonable way for a human to deal with it is to be playing one of the best teams against one of the worst teams. Like, say, Brazil versus Japan. Another quirk in Formation Soccer is that when you have to do a corner kick, you can aim it at whatever angle you like, but for other throw-ins from the sidelines, you don't have that kind of fine control. If the computer beats you, then you get this game over screen, which is one of the weirder ones I've encountered, and you have to reset the console in order to make it go away. Formation Soccer was the start of an enormous series for Human, though it didn't really take off until the J-League got started in 1994. There's actually 3 more PC Engine releases, but we'll have a long wait for the next one. Now usually sports games like this wind up being forgotten, but in the case of Formation Soccer, it seems like the fact that it kicked off a big series has made it stick in people's minds a bit more. Though they don't seem to actually have a whole lot to say about this version. It's more general acknowledgement. I look at Formation Soccer and I go, this is a very advanced game for 1990, and I still don't like playing it. The technical qualities on display are amazing. It can't be understated just how difficult it was to have 2 full soccer teams on the pitch and functioning well. And there's a lot of nice little details when you interact with the ball, like how sometimes players will bounce it off their chest. But it still doesn't play well as a soccer game. Between the lack of control for the player you're using and that densely packed field, I didn't have a good time with this one. I'm sure it's better with 3 friends over, but that's true of a lot of games. Formation Soccer is a case of technically neat, not so good to play.